If you're thinking of moving to Portland, Oregon, and Lake Oswego is high on your priority list to check out, well, this video is for you. Specifically, we're going to look at the inventory that's under $1 million. Homes, townhomes, condos, what's available right now. We're in November of 2022 here in Lake Oswego. Let's get to it. Hey everybody, my name's Aaron Cullen. I'm a local real estate agent right here in Portland, Oregon. I actually live in Lake Oswego with my family, and I can't say enough great things about it. We love it here. So this video, we're specifically going to get into what's available for $1 million budget and under. Now you may or may not be surprised, but there's not a lot of inventory under $1 million in Lake Oswego. Right now, we currently have about 40 properties. One of the biggest issues with living in Lake Oswego is the housing affordability. That's why I want to put out this video so you can see how far your dollar can go here in Lake Oswego right now, heading towards the end of 2022. Before we get into the actual houses, I just want to give you some of the tidbits about living in Lake Oswego and what to expect when you move here. Now, I have some other videos you might want to check out, like the pros and cons of living in Lake Oswego. Let's cover some of those aspects. Now, living in Lake Oswego has a lot of amazing perks, and if it's a good fit for you and your family, great. If not, if you want more of that city vibe where shops and everything is walking distance to your house, northeast or southeast Portland might be a better fit for you. But if you're looking for that suburban type lifestyle and community, Lake Oswego might be a great option if you have the budget for it. Just to give you an idea, right now there's 40 listings between houses, condos, and townhomes that are on the market right now. 40 homes that are $1 million and under. But as soon as you go to $1 million up to $5 million, there's 70 listings in that section. So that should tell you a little bit about the price range here in Lake Oswego. It can get very expensive, just depends really on your budget. Most of them are going to be in that $2 to $3 million range with a lot of inventory in that range. Now those homes are sitting a little bit longer than the $1 million and under. So if you're thinking of moving here and your budget is under $1 million, definitely reach out to me so we can put in place a strategy, make a visit out here if you've never been out here, so you can get familiar, and when something pops on the market that fits your needs, like bedroom count, size, proximity to services, downtown Lake Oswego, and style, then we can make a move on it really quickly. Even in this market where things are moving a lot slower, there's a real opportunity because there's still a restrained amount of inventory. A lot of people aren't selling right now. Definitely reach out to me so we can put into place a strategy and hone in exactly what you're looking for. So when that does pop up, you're gonna wanna make an offer on it pretty quickly to secure it. So let's go check out the map and pull that up so you can get a real sense of where is Lake Oswego in the relationship to Portland. So here we go, here's Portland, here's Lake Oswego right here. It's all highlighted in red, and that's the actual border of the city of Lake Oswego. And we're about 9 miles here from downtown Portland. And you just hop on the 43. If your downtown Lake Oswego is right here, this 43 goes right up into downtown, or on the west side, this is the 5 freeway right here. And that goes right back up again to downtown. And if you keep on that 5, that'll take you right up into Vancouver. And here's the airport right over here. We also have this 205 loop, which goes all the way around the south and the east side of the city and takes you right up to the airport. So in Lake Oswego, if I'm going to the airport, I'm probably going to take that 205, depending on traffic, come right in from the south end of Lake Oswego. I live on the south end of Lake Oswego, right here, so it's easier for me just to jump on the 205. But depending on where you are, maybe you just jump on the 5 and go up here to get over to the airport. There's a few different ways that you can get there. It really just depends on traffic. And traffic in general, for me, isn't that bad at all in Portland. It really depends on where you're moving from and what your definition of heavy traffic is. A lot of people that have lived here their whole lives might believe traffic is really bad. Now, if you're coming from a bigger city that has a lot of congestion, you're probably going to move here and say, hey, traffic's not bad at all. So it's all very relative. But pretty much anywhere in Portland, you're gonna be within 30 minutes of anywhere you're going. And one of the sayings in Lake Oswego, you can do a lot of your shopping and stuff in here. Nothing's really more than 11-minute drive in and around Lake Oswego. As far as groceries go, we have 2 Whole Foods and multiple other shopping choices. We also have multiple coffee shops, tons of restaurants. A lot of the nicer, fancier restaurants that are downtown have also opened up restaurants here in Lake Oswego. We did see quite a few restaurants and businesses have to shut down during COVID, but luckily a lot of them did survive, and we've also seen a lot more pop up since then. Now, downtown Lake Oswego over the last few years really has been changing for the better, and we're getting more and more local restaurants, local coffee shops. I'm really happy to be able to see that transformation taking place. It really makes this town that much more special. And one of the unique things about Lake Oswego is that we have this downtown area. It's a vibrant commercial district here in Lake Oswego. People live here, people work here, and people play here. So that's one of the really unique things about Lake Oswego. It's not a normal like bedroom suburban community like a lot of the other ones around Portland. This was actually a destination as well. There's a lot of things to do here. Plus, you're only 15 or 20 minutes from downtown Portland. There's not a lot of suburbs that can say that or make that claim to being that close to downtown. And our school districts are #1 in the state. Not a lot of places can say that. Thus, we are the most expensive community in Portland. But I do truly believe whatever your budget is, you can find something. It just might not be as big a house maybe that you want somewhere else, but if that's your choice, but that's a choice that you can make depending on your budget. So reach out to me, we can have that conversation, and I'll be totally frank with you and what you can get for your dollar. What's most important to you? Is it schools? Is it the size of your house? Is it being close to your job? There's a lot of other great communities around Portland. So Lake Oswego by no means is end all of be all, the only place you need to be. There's a lot of other great communities and options. But for me and my family, Lake Oswego was a great fit. Okay, so let's zoom in here a little bit into the map. And I'll just get you a little bit more orientation. And you can see how green it is around here. There's so many trees in Lake Oswego. That's one of the many things that make it really special. If I kind of zoom back out, you can see over here to the west a little bit more, Tigard, Beaverton, Aloha, Hillsborough. You can see it's a lot less green. Look at all the dense greenery. We have laws in place here against cutting down mature trees, which really helps protect from overbuilding and cutting down all that older growth. We also have Tryon State Park right here, which is a huge park, one of the biggest here in Portland. And again, that's just a huge natural protected forest that's all right here, right up against it. And you can also see here's northeast and southeast Portland, and you can see, how much more built up it is. It's all flat for the most part in here. And then you'll see some parks, some green spaces, dotting all throughout there. That's one of the great things about Portland. There's over 300 parks in Portland. It's just amazing that the city really highly prioritizes parks. And Lake Oswego is no different. We have about 30 parks here in Lake Oswego, not counting all the school playgrounds as well. So if I zoom in here, here's downtown Lake Oswego right here. This is where all your shopping district's gonna be. And this is First Edition. This is the most expensive neighborhood in general because it's all walking distance, 100% walkability to all the amazing shops that we have down here downtown. Now, there's also shops right here to the east of the 43, right along here. And one of the great things about that is this neighborhood, Hallinan. It's being nicknamed Second Edition because you're still walkable to all these shops here, and it's a longer walk, but you got about a mile walk to downtown Lake Oswego, which is still very, very doable. And if you bike, boom, you're there just in a matter of 5 minutes. So Hallinan is a great neighborhood that's really changing right now. And in First Edition, you're gonna have a lot of older homes. Those lots are gonna range from around $800,000 on up to $1 million. They'll knock down those older homes and then build a home that's in that 2 to 3.5 million range. But in Hallinan, you can still get those older homes. You can live in it, you could refurbish it, or if you want that new build that might cost you $3 million over in First Edition, you can get that in Hallinan for around $2 million. One of the other things about Lake Oswego that makes it really cool is, yes, Oswego Lake. There's a lake right in the center of it, and the town is all around this amazing, gorgeous lake. It's the only lake in Portland. And we have all these amazing rivers. We have the Columbia, and this is the Willamette right here, and that butts up right on the east side. We have George Rogers Park, which is an amazing gem of a park, one of our favorites, and you have full access to the river right here. We also have an amazing private country club, Oswego Lake Country Club, which is right here. It's gorgeous. They have amazing facility. And if you don't golf, they have the full golf membership and they have a social membership if you just want to use the facilities and the special parties and events that they do around the year. We just got a new city park called Iron Mountain City Park. That's right here. And this is a cool little park. It's more of like a natural park, picnic benches. There's trails that connect up to the Iron Mountain. So it's a great place to go park and go hiking, or you can watch the horses. Right here we have the Lake Oswego Hunt Club, and you can board your horse here and you can get lessons. So this is a really neat park to come, have a snack, kids can watch the horses. We do that all the time too. And then right to the west of Lake Oswego, you're gonna see Bridgeport Village. And this is a huge commercial corridor right through here. And so if you go right off of Lakeview Boulevard, which connects to Boone's Ferry, it's gonna take you right into Bridgeport Village. And this is one of the nicer malls in Portland. It's an outdoor mall, not an indoor mall, which I personally prefer. We've got an amazing movie theater, stadium seating right there as well. And they're actually redoing all of the common space between all the shops right now to really take it up a notch. It was great the way it was, but they're re-envisioning it and gonna put some more kid-friendly things in there for them to be able to play on and things like that. So I'm pretty excited. That's supposed to be done here pretty shortly in time for the summer. One of the other things to really be aware of is access to the lake. If that's high on your priority list, you are gonna pay more of a premium for your home for that. There's about 3,000 homes in Lake Oswego that have easements. Now, if you want more information about that, definitely reach out to me, because I could go on and on about the conversation about access to the lake. It's a complicated issue, but just to make it real simple, your house has to have a lake easement. There's only 3,000 homes that have lake easements, and there's about 900 homes that are actually lakefront on the lake or on one of the lake fingers. Those homes obviously have lake access because you're right there on the lake, but if you're not, you're gonna want a home that has a lake easement. And that just adds another layer of being able to find a home with a lake easement. So you might have to pull back on some of those other wants and wish lists of your home. And you're definitely gonna pay a little bit more of a premium if you want that lake easement. But worry not, if you don't, you might make friends that have lake easements and you can go hang out with them, or you can use the Willamette. Like I said, George Rogers Park right over here has an amazing little beach right there just to go hang out, go swimming. They have kayak rentals, stand-up paddleboard rentals. They do all of that in the summer. My family and I enjoy that. My daughter just started coming with me this summer. She's been doing swimming lessons for the last few years and is finally getting comfortable being able to get on my paddleboard with me and have a little bit of fun on the river. I was pretty excited about that. So let's now take a look at what is available. If I bring up the MLS right here, you can see there's 40 homes right now that are $1 million and under. That's homes, detached, condos, and townhomes. So you're gonna get a variety here. I've got it sorted at the most expensive to the least expensive. Now, I've been in many of these homes, and some of them have been on the market for a little bit longer. Again, when you're under $1 million, and I can't stress enough, when you're under $1 million, half of those listings, when they come on the market, they're still gonna probably get an offer and go pending within that first week, especially if they're pricing them right in this market, and if they're move-in ready, if they look really nice. The other half of the listings, not to say they don't look nice, maybe there's just something a little quirky about it, or for whatever reason, maybe they started pricing it a little bit too high. There's various reasons, something maybe that just makes it a little less desirable. There are a lot less buyers right now, so those tend to sit on the market just a little bit longer. and you're probably gonna see some price reductions in those. So if you like any that are on the market and that have been on the market for over 3 weeks, reach out to me, because you're really increasing your chance of being able to negotiate several things on those factors. Maybe it's getting a price reduction, maybe it's getting funds to buy down your rate or go towards your closing costs. All those things are negotiable, and I'm able to negotiate for my clients right now because the market is shifting. It is going more towards a buyer's market. It's still more towards the seller's market, but you have all the tools back. We're doing all the inspections, all those negotiation tools are back in play now, which is great, pretty much for everybody. But again, if that home is priced well and is desirable, it is probably gonna go pending within that first week. You might not have any competition, or maybe you have one other offer going against you, but you're probably gonna pay really close to asking price. It's not gonna be this competitive over asking price. Those days are over, thank goodness, and we're really able to get in there and negotiate all those normal things and have more of an even back and forth. So I think that's something really important to be able to see is just the inventory. You can see here's the lake, here's what's around it, and just to give you an idea, this is first edition, one of the most expensive areas. Here's a 2-1 for $690,000. That's gonna be a lot older home, built in the 20s. Here's one that's actually built in 1890s. This one really isn't livable. It's $879,000. They started like a little under $1 million. It's been on the market for a long time, but this is actually historically protected, so they can't knock it down. So someone's gonna have to fall in love with this and really rebuild it. But that house really needs a full makeover. So that's been on the market a long time. So don't let that one fool you. And then we go over here, and these are more townhomes and condos that are available along here. So now this one is a 3-2. If this works great for you, here's under $500,000. That could be a great townhome option for you. Here's a condo, a 2-1, 365. And then as we get over here, here's a home. This is gonna be on the lower end to give you a great example, $600,000, it's a 3-2. This is right in Hallinan. So you can see how close that is. All the shops we're gonna have like all around here that I was showing you, and here's first edition. So it's still walkable, extremely short bike ride. And that's at 600,000. And then we go over here, here's one for 700, and that one's been on the market for a little bit. Here's another one for 740. I really like this home. I've been in this one several times. This one, if you like the house, could be a really good deal for you. It's a 3-2, and it's got a daylight basement that's fully built out. I'll just go through here so you can see some of the pictures really quickly. This is the basement level. It's got a deck in the back, and a lot of the yard is actually on the side. So it doesn't have a huge yard, it's more on the side, and this is coming out of that daylight basement level right here. The house is kind of built on a little bit of a hill here. So on the front, it looks like a 1 level, but it's really a 2 level. Now the inside does need a little bit more updating. That's probably why this one's been on the market a little bit longer, but this one's just itching for someone to make that right offer right now. It's been on the market for 76 days. So more chances are they're willing to negotiate. Now if we come down over here to the Palisades, this is a house I really, really like. So this one is a great example of just pricing a little bit too high, most likely. Now they just lowered it $50,000. It's been on the market for 54 days, and they just lowered it 50 grand. So it was 900, now it's 850. This gives you a great idea of what you can get. This one actually has a lake easement, and it's almost 3,200 square feet, 4-bed, 3-bath, on a little bit over 1/4 of an acre. Just to give you an idea, you know, this house is very outdated. So that's one of the reasons why this one didn't go right away. But it's got a big deck, it's got an amazing big backyard, but the inside of the home hasn't been updated in a long time. It's got older carpet, and the bathrooms, you can see it's got the tile bathrooms, and nothing about it is bad or like needs to be done. It just hasn't been updated in a long time. And you can really see that if we get over here to the kitchen. Here's the kitchen. You know, and for that price point, a lot of people want maybe a little bit more open or a little bit more space, or this is laminate countertops. You usually expect some kind of stone, granite, quartz. You need to redo the kitchen, put some money into it over time, but it's definitely livable as it is right now. And I actually really like the layout of this home. It's very separated, has open feel to it in the living room, but also still very separated. So if you work at home, something like this could be a great example. And this is just a good example of what the housing stock is like in Lake Oswego. You're gonna have some older homes like this that was built in the 70s and maybe has been updated a little bit over time, but still is way outdated in certain rooms. Here's a living room. Love the high ceilings. Opens up to this little extra loft space right up there. That one also has a lake easement, which is right over here. So let me just scroll through these to give you an idea of the homes, what's available here. And here we are getting to the lower price point. These are all townhome style and then into condos as well. So we actually have a lot of condo options if that's something you're interested in. Again, go ahead and reach out and I can connect you with some information on all of those different places. Now, just to show you how that really changes, if I switch this to 1 million and I switch this to 25 million, now it says there's 75 homes over $1 million, where there's only 40 homes at $1 million and under, and there's 75 at $1 million and above. So it really gives you a sense that there's a lot more inventory on the market right now at those higher price points, and they're tending to sit in general a little bit longer. And once you get to that price point, again, that 2 million to 3 million, there's a lot of new build options that are coming on the market right now. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely reach out to me and I can connect you with some of those options. You can probably see right here at the top of the list is this $11.5 million home. That's one of the most expensive homes that's right there on the lake. It's just crazy, 13,000 square feet. I don't know who needs a house that big. I certainly don't. But would it be fun? Yeah, probably. But you can see most of the homes here around the lake are gonna be that 6.5 million, 5.9 million, in that range. They really start at about 3 million on the lake. Right now there's one on the Finger. That was a flip, and that's listed at about 2.3 million. Okay, well that gives you just a little bit of a flavor of what's available right now in Lake Oswego. So if you're thinking about moving to Portland, Oregon, and Lake Oswego's on the top of your list, definitely reach out to me before you make a trip out here, and I can share with you some of the little hot spots, and I can show you around a few of the homes. All right, everybody, hope you got value out of this, and if you did, click the subscribe button and you'll be notified next time I release another video on Portland, Oregon. See you next time.